Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and today we're going to look at more recent sales for the vintage collection. It's Thursday. I try to do this every week, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I've got a few shout outs to give before we dig into some recent sales. As you can see by this thumbnail, there was a Miscard that sold for big money. First, two new Patreon supporters, Dustin S. and Julia S. No idea if they're related or not, but I wanted to say thank you to Dustin and Julia for becoming Patreon members. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up. And then I got two supers, YouTube supers, which are thanks through YouTube for recent videos. Sith Droid sent me two supers last week, and he has sent a bunch over the course of this year. Thank you so much, Sith Droid, for supporting the channel. He's over in the UK. Really appreciate your thoughtfulness. And as well to all my Patreon supporters. You guys allow this channel to be what it is today. So thank you so much. All right, let's dig into some recent sales. Pretty good assortment here of recent releases as well as older TVC 1.0. And we're going to start off with some foil examples that sold. First is VC17 General Grievous, really clean US card with the free Boba Fett offer, and that one sold in an auction, one bid for $110 plus $9.50 shipping. That's kind of right in line with recent sales. I believe we even had one last week if memory serves. So $110 to $125 after shipping is a good price target to aim for. Clone Commander Cody, this one sold for $160 plus $6 and change in shipping. This was again another US card foil example, and right in line with market. We had Power Droid that also had one that sold for $150 plus $7 shipping. So that's a nice tight price range for the foil example of VC19. Power Droid also had another Magna Guard that sold. I believe I had this in my what to buy video. If memory serves, that one sold for $100 plus $7 shipping. And no, I am not Power Droid. I had a couple of you guys ask me if I am Power Droid. No, the answer is no, I am not this seller. This seller is located in Arizona. I am in Tennessee. So rest assured, I am not trying to tout my own items for sale on eBay. I actually don't sell on eBay at all anymore, just because it's such a pain in the butt. I usually sell all of my items, which are usually vintage at this point, on Rogue 5 Toys. I sell very occasionally. I just don't have much to sell right now. At some point, my entire collection will be for sale as my kids get close to going to college, okay? Because I want to fund my kids' college as much as possible by selling my collection. So within the next probably 5 years or so, I will sell everything. I'll do a room tour, show you every single item in my collection, and every single item will go on Rogue 5 Toys for sale. That's my plan is for right now. Do I need to sell my items to send my kids through college? The answer is no. I'm intelligent with my money, and I started 529 plans. If you have kids and you don't have a 529 plan started, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of tax benefits related to that. You can put in money pre-tax. There's a limit, I think, of $60,000 every 5 years. So I try to max that out as best I can, so I don't have to sell my collection, but I also do want to fund just various living expenses, maybe fund buying a house for my kids that they can rent out to their roommates. That's what I did growing up. I did not get that money from my parents, but my kids are going to get spoiled. I'm probably going to try to buy like a 3-bedroom townhouse or something like that, wherever they end up going to college, and then have the roommates pay for it. So, just ideas like that to kind of give them a head start. And maybe it doesn't happen, maybe it does, I don't know. It's all just stuff that's kicking around in my brain right now. But I do plan on selling the entire collection in the next 5 to 6 years. We'll see if I hold to that or not, but that's the plan. Kit Fisto, VC29. This was a nice unpunched example. It looked like it had a little scuff or two at the top of the card back. That one was listed for $120, free shipping. And it also did have a crushed bubble. Now, the seller's telling you all this stuff. It's not big crushes on it, but I'm not paying $120 for a VC29 Kit Fisto with a crushed bubble. But shout out to the seller on that for at least noting that it does have a dent on the bottom of the stem there. Now, what would I pay for a very clean VC29? Maybe 150. I think that's a good price target to aim for. It might go a little higher than that, but I think in the current environment where vintage collection in general is down from the highs, don't pay $120 for one that has a crushed bubble. So I just wanted to point that out. Back to Power Droid. Here was that slave Leia that did sell. Again, I think I had this one in my what to buy video, VC64 US card unpunched for $270, and we've seen same price point or higher even for recent sales for VC64 unpunched. For punched examples, 180 to 200 seems to be the going rate. I found several sales this week for $180 to $200 for a punched example of VC64. Now, this one was the Revenge of the Jedi offerless, so it should go for more money, and plus it's unpunched. So, you know, that one is the SDCC Death Star box set version for $270. I thought that was a really good price. That is certainly down from the $300 to $350 range where this one was selling 18 months ago. So I thought that price was fair. That's why I had it in my what to buy video, and it did sell very quickly thereafter. Now, I've got two different sales for Ponda Baba, and it's just crazy how different the prices are. This was a buy it now for $85, unpunched US card with the prototype FET offer, and then another one was unpunched prototype FET offer, and this one was in an auction, and it sold for more, for $132.50. So pretty crazy to see that buy it now for $85 plus $750 versus the auction that actually went for more. And we always talk about how auctions are probably where you want to stick to for TVC 1.0. Because usually the prices go for less. In this case, it didn't. It went for quite a bit more, about $40 more. So I can't make any heads or tails of that, but that probably relates to the cantina and people wanting to fill the cantina, maybe. I don't know, but to me, you just get a loose one maybe from some of those sellers that are very prevalent for selling loose cantina creatures. But for whatever reason, that one did sell for quite a bit more than what this buy it now sold for. Lumat, this one I thought was another buy it now that went for a pretty good price of $99 plus $8 shipping. We've seen as high recently as $140 in buy it now situation. So I thought that one was a really good price, assuming that one was in clean shape, which it did look. It did look to be in very clean condition, just a couple little marks on the back of the card back. So can't make any heads or tails of it again, but you know, if you see good deals out there in buy it now situations, sometimes people just list it at the bottom of the barrel, and I think that's a good example of that. Some recent releases, this seller had VC 332 and 333, which are Sabine Wren and Chopper respectively, with that card art. That one did sell for $99.90 free shipping. I think that price will come down, but you know, it does have that line art that is kind of in keeping with the ghost that's going to be as part of the Haslab there. So really nice examples though, and you know, lots of pack-ins, especially for Chopper on that one with those two little weird creatures. But anyway, $99.90 for that, plus the original box holding those two in. I don't know why they showed the box separately, but that's what they wanted to do. I guess they just probably wanted to show the contents and the fact that they weren't damaged on the inside of, the box there. But here's the big one, all right? And as you know, I alluded to at the beginning of this video, another Miscard sold, and I'm sure there have been some other Miscards that have sold recently. I just haven't seen them, but I did happen to catch this one. This one is the Ahsoka Tano Mandalore card back, along with the Darth Maul Mandalore. I wouldn't say it's a common one. It's one I've seen before, but it's one I have not seen sell on eBay in a while. And the starting bid price in an auction was $1,000 plus $30 shipping from Thailand. So you're taking a little bit of a risk that it gets here safe, but that seller, in all fairness, does have 110 transactions with 100% positive feedback. So somebody pulled the trigger on it, on that Miscard, the Ahsoka Tano Mandalore card back with the Mandalore version of Darth Maul for 1,000 bones. Big number on that one, but that one is certainly a pretty desirable combination to have both Ahsoka Tano and Darth Maul in one combination there. So wow, really big number there for those of you that are into data points for the factory error Miscards. Next up, some vehicles before we dig into some graded examples. First, this one was a damaged but sealed Toys R Us exclusive Attack of the Clones Republic gunship. So you can see the obvious damage to the box on this one. Lots of damage to that one. So that's why it sold for $520. We're kind of used to $650 to $750 for the Republic gunship. But again, $520 on that one. Someone's probably going to open that one. And speaking of openers, this one was opened. This was an open box example of the Republic gunship. That one sold in an auction for $405 plus $11.80 shipping. There's a good close-up there showing that it is open contents. So $400 to about, $550 or so, although this one was factory sealed. Although I would argue that someone's probably going to open that one. So $450 to $550. I would aim for ideally under $650 for a really clean box in this kind of condition that's still factory sealed. Next up, two different AT-ATs sold. One of them with the Empire Strikes Back packaging and one with the Return of the Jedi packaging for that Toys R Us exclusive. So this is the Toys R Us exclusive ESB factory sealed. That one did sell for $588 free shipping. And then here is the Toys R Us Return of the Jedi. Now, was this one opened or not? Let's see here. Yeah, it was open. Okay, so this one was open. I was trying to figure out why it only sold for $390, but that explains it. So this one was open, unused contents for $390. You're not going to get it that cheap if it's factory sealed, right? We're kind of used to in that $550 range, $550 to $650. I'd say ideally if you can get the ESB example in this price point of under $600, that's a pretty good deal. But usually I'm used to in that $650 range for the Empire Strikes Back packaging. And then for a factory sealed example of the Return of the Jedi box, you're probably more in the $450 to $550 range. It just depends. I mean, I've seen the prices all over the map lately. $390 plus $26 shipping for an open example, so you're probably closer to $500 to $550, I would think, for a Return of the Jedi boxed example. And next up, this is the lowest price I've seen in a while for the Razor Crest. This is obviously the Haslab Razor Crest, still factory sealed in the shipper box. That one sold in an auction for $391, but it also did have $50 shipping, so that puts you at around $440. $450, $475 is kind of what I'm used to. So that's kind of right in line, if not on the lower end of the scale, given that it's still sealed in the factory shipper box. And then finally, let's dig into just a few graded items. We had an archival case, uncirculated 90 grade for Darth Maul, along with the Darth Maul offer. And that one was the US card. That one sold in an auction for $177.50 on 34 bids. So that had a lot of action on that one, but that one did have the 3-tier grading with the, true grading with the, card, blister, and figure scores instead of just the modern grading scale. So people pay up a little bit for that one. It also did have the archival case, which people tend to pay up 10 or 20 bucks for. So $177.50 on that one. And then here was that uncirculated 9.0 VCPO3 rocket firing FET. And again, this is one I had in my what to buy video. That one did sell for $255. Pretty fair deal there relative to what this was going for during the Book of Boba Fett. If y'all remember some of those crazy prices during the Book of Boba Fett, which was like January of about 2 years ago, that was going for $500 plus, if not higher. So pretty good deal there for an uncirculated 9.0 at $255. And then we had an uncirculated 9.0. This is the 2019 release of the Boba Fett. So this is the re-release. That one did sell for $110 plus $15 shipping, VC09 on the Empire Strikes Back packaging. And then we also had the Darth Vader Duel's End that had the cracked helmet. This is just an awesome figure. I love this figure so much. This was an uncirculated 9.0 fan channel exclusive. Let's see. This is fan channel 2-pack exclusive, obviously with the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Duel's End 9.0 uncirculated. So someone sent in that 2-pack and then had the contents graded. So that one did sell for $175 free shipping. And then finally, this is the first Darth Revan I've seen graded in a while. This was an uncirculated 9.0 Darth Revan. That one sold for $319.20 plus $13.60 shipping. So that one continues to be a very expensive item. Ungraded $80 to $100. Uncirculated 9.0 grade, you can, about quadruple that price based on this sale of $320 plus $13.60 shipping. So anyway, just some interesting sales for the vintage collection this week. Thank you as always for watching. Again, please leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon.